So, is everybody good to play Escape from the Casino of Chaos?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's get it going.
I feel like I've done that before.
I escaped.
Oh, you have your knife, or I should get mine.
I think
I can.
I have a key.
I do not.
I have a key here.
Here, I'll just get it from the kitchen. I can get from the kitchen. I'm getting it, I'm trying to get anyway, but yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, looks like that's working. And it looks like it's a one-time playthrough, so I think we're destroying cards.
Probably.
In fact, I might look at the back for a second and see.
I don't know if I got it or didn't.
Yeah, maybe bring the scissors, because we might need them for the cards anyways. Or actually,
You want scissors?
yeah, scissors. Thank you. I think we're good on the knife. We got through the piece of.
All right.
The puzzles can be solved in any order. However, it is important that each player attempts to solve each puzzle individually.
What?
That's an interesting twist.
All right. You want me to read the how to play?
Sure, I'll read this first. Amongst all the glitz and glamour of the Las Vegas Strip, there's only one thing that you have your eye on: the Hope Rock. Renowned for being the world's largest diamond, it is also the proud possession of the ruthless mob boss and casino owner Joe Chaos Taylor.
Okay.
His middle name is Chaos.
Yeah.
But not for long. As a professional thief, you've assembled your best crew for the most daring heist yet.
It's Ocean's 3.
Yeah, it is. That night, you'll have to locate the diamond and make it out of the casino completely undetected. But what's Vegas without a little risk? And it says it's designed to be a one-time play experience. I am not seeing anything that we'll need, but would not.
Okay, this is going to repeat a little bit, but it's different language slightly. Story, read first. Amongst the flashing neon lights of the Las Vegas Strip sits Chaos Casino, owned by the ruthless mob boss Joe Chaos Taylor.
Oh, pause. I will mention, I saw YouTube, it's one of those, called Support by Wired Magazine.
Oh, yeah.
And it was casino support. It was guy who, catches cheaters at casinos, and he was answering questions. But a couple of the questions had to do with the mob, and he was saying, yeah, in the old days, Las Vegas was run the mafia, but nowadays it's not, and the casinos are all on the, legalized and blah blah blah, and I'm like, sure, it's not. There's no more, mafia,
Right. I mean, even the term he's catching cheaters. I wonder how much they're actually cheaters, or they're just the people who are
winning.
Yeah.
The people who are.
You gotta leave.
But I'm like,
There
yes.
is a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Oh yeah.
But because it's illegal to win.
Yeah.
It's illegal to continue winning.
They can kick you out.
They can kick you out. But the thing is I'm like, who in their right mind is buying that there's no further, mafia influence on the Las Vegas Strip? It's all been stamped out.
Yeah.
Right. But there's another player, the government.
Yeah,
that's true. Yep. They get
Go
a
ahead.
lot of taxes from it. Voluntary taxes.
That's right.
So yeah. Let's see. So we want to live out our private island in Pina Coladas retirement plan. So that is kind of the similar language. There's just one small problem. Security cameras line the walls, recording 24/7, protecting the millions of dollars moving through the casino every day. You'll need to make sure you leave with a Hope Rock through the casino's blind spot, an exit that doesn't show up on any of the casino's security cameras. Clues to the location of the blind spot can be found on the casino floor, but get just one piece of your intel wrong and you risk messing up your exit plan. Then, instead of sunning yourself on a private bed, you'll risk sleeping with officials. So how to play. It can be individually or with up to 4 players. Inside each of the 4 envelopes is a different puzzle. These can be completed in any order. When playing in a group, the puzzles should still be attempted individually. Some players may escape, and some may be trapped in the casino and imprisoned. Players may attempt to help each other or hinder with advice for each puzzle if they choose. Each player finds a pencil and takes one of the 4 sealed envelopes. while leaving the floor plan in a central location accessible to all players. So I think there's the floor plan.
Could we do this where we all play individually, but instead of giving help, we actually try to sabotage?
Oh,
Yeah, Reservoir Dog style.
Yeah,
or
I'm
Cash
gonna
and Gun
claim-
style.
I'm gonna give advice. There's just a 50-50 chance whether it's good or not, like actual advice or not.
What if nobody did that?
I know that would be sad. They do recommend pencils, so I don't
I'm
know.
working on it.
Okay, thank you. And then 4 sealed envelopes, I guess. Those are the 4. And then what is this? Want to check your solutions?
Oh.
Or this is possible escape locations do not open until you are ready to make your escape. So that is the conclusion. And this is don't forget to tag when you escape. So I don't think we'll need the box, especially since it seems to be the envelopes. But I could be wrong. Actually, I've seen 3 good clues and puzzles on the box, but I'll let you guys discover that for yourselves.
You have.
Who wants the old? Someone can have an old school pencil.
Number 2.
Wait a minute. It says suitable for 12 years plus.
If there is more than one player, then once a puzzle is solved, it should be resealed in the same way it was found. It might be replayable. Like it says it's not, but this makes it sound like maybe it is. And return to the central floor plan location. Players continue to take the next available puzzle until all 4 have been completed by all players. Once all the puzzles have been solved, players should review the floor plan and announce which exit they intend to escape from. Players find out their fates by opening the numbered door in the exit booklet that corresponds with the number of their chosen exit on the floor plan. If players choose different exits, only the players who have chosen the correct exit have escaped from the casino. They do have the solutions online, how to use the puzzle solutions. If the direction clue is north of Haley Saloon, then the exit must be one. Oh, yeah, this is just. Okay, so they're just showing examples, like some of the puzzle solutions it'll narrow it down to quadrants, basically. So it'll say, if it's north of Haley's Saloon, then it means it'll be 4, 9, or 11, or any of the others. Then exit must be.
So the exit's going to be one of these numbers, or
yes.
okay.
And as an example, yeah. Or I think so. Yeah, Haley's Saloon. Yeah, exactly. Because it kind of chunks it out here, but if it says north of Haley's Saloon, then
It has parts that you're going to punch out, and I'm fine if you punch them out because I think you can still put the punched out pieces back in here, and it will still be clear, like, you know,
Okay.
it has
Got
to.
it.
yeah,
So,
gotcha.
so it's 4 games?
4 envelopes and 4 puzzles.
4 puzzles. All right, this will not be my best kind of puzzle, by the way.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know that I'm the person for this one.
Well, you have to solve all 4 of them individually anyway, so it doesn't matter with them. So.
Oh, and the contents is nice. It actually does show which one goes to which envelope.
I'm going to get a thing, so just hang on.
Okay. Yeah, so we can easily put things back when we're passing them if we get mixed up. This not good, unfortunately. It doesn't say time. Are we? So I guess we're just solving the puzzles and picking our exit, 1 through 12, and it's just whether we're right or not is the solution.
I have I don't have an exit. I have the location of the rock. So maybe that's I don't know if that's a group thing.
No, I think that's a separate, because that was an envelope. I'll read that part again. Nice.
I think this is going to defeat one of your objectives.
What?
Well,
it might take a lot of space.
You're gonna cut off much of this. All right, it's fine.
We could.
No, it's fine.
Either way we try, we could know that the other option
Well,
is possible.
do you think I should go for Eye of Sky Shields.
Just do your thing. We're good. We don't have to
This'll
work
be okay.
independently. We can work together some.
Well, that's true, and also I don't know how much I don't know how much we'll be able to see. Like if it's just gleaning information and then writing something down, we may not need something too secretive.
There's nothing about this that is like don't let the other person win.
Well, it says each person should try to solve the puzzle individually. So
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And said each of the 4 envelopes is a different puzzle. They should be completed in any order. I think that from this, it sounds like all of them should be helping to narrow it down to different.
Oh, is this a?
That's a hint. Don't do that. There's an instruction somewhere in here.
Oh, okay.
There's your instructions.
And the back of this one, if anybody needs to reference, it shows the envelope and the contents of the envelope.
Got it. Okay.
I have the movement of the diamond on an elevator, and you have.
I have the poker table, I guess. I have the cards puzzle. Yeah, you have an elevator puzzle.
But I have it twice.
I have roulette.
So is it just I got a duplicate?
I think so. Yeah, I think you got a duplicate.
Maybe I'm going to write on it, and that's part of it.
Well,
but I can do it.
Are they exactly the same?
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
And that might be a duplicate. Yeah, I have a single, so.
Okay.
I do like that they have a little hint. That's going right back in.
Okay.
Oh, so this is not, you don't have to open this?
I don't think so. I think that's
you
just
should
a
not
for that puzzle.
Okay.
Do not open unless you absolutely have to.
Got it. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and open mine now. You know? Riveting.
I'm going to say that we can write notes that we keep to ourselves on the small pads.
I think so.
I'll get you a small pad.
Cool, thank you. That should, I think that should work well.
We can flip the small ones over wherever the kids.
Yeah.
You can mix this.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see how this is. This is so that you can flip this over.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do we have a transcript?
We're retiring the excellent advice that you got many games ago about how to betray somebody.
There's a section here that I will read for the table. You guys will be reading it, but maybe I'll read it now. The casino is in full swing with glamorous women in cocktail dresses, men in designer suits, martinis in hand, milling around the roulette table. You'll need to create a distraction if you want your exit to be as witness-free as possible. So you hatch a plan. Like any good mobster, Chaos is renowned for fixing his roulette tables. What? If you're able to work out the next winning number and spread the word, people will flock to the table to win big and won't notice you slipping out the exits. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to accomplish.
I like it. Yeah, it gives flavor too. I might be trapped in the casino, guys.
I'm not entirely sure on mine either, but we're doing what we can.
Right.
Remember, I chose you guys chose this exhilarating game. I'm it's puzzly. I'm enjoying it.
Me too. Me too.
Bless you.
I have half the solution, but the other, like, how to play this doesn't make sense.
Uh-oh.
Why not?
I think, like, with narrowing it down for the escape. Is that
Yeah, but like once I've solved this part of the clue,
Mhm.
I don't know what to do with here because
Oh,
what
gotcha.
logically makes sense
It's-
doesn't make sense.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, it just depends on if you guys want to start sharing and solving together.
No, it said we had to solve them individually. I'm following the rules.
Yeah, it did sound like we have the option of giving some hints.
It's very hints.
Yeah. Players may attempt to help or hinder each other with advice for each puzzle if they choose.
I'm not saying it's riveting TV here, but
Well, I like at least, yeah, Michael reading it out loud is a good idea.
so when I get these two numbers during the day against each other, so find the location of Cryptic, all the directional clue that matches the chosen solution.
I had figured out kind of what to do here. It's just tedious, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's just, once I figured out how to approach the problem, it's just tedious.
Gotcha. I figured out my.
You have?
Yeah. Could I see the sheet for a second?
Yes. Oh. I got it. I think I got it.
I don't think you do.
I do.
I think you're completely lost in the dark.
I think he's bluffing us.
Yeah. You don't know shite.
What floor are we on? The first floor?
Probably. We're on the casino floor. That's what it says, casino floor. Alright, I think I'm good. Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay, so this floor. So, okay.
That has
What are we doing? Passing information to the like we're all solving it separately?
yeah.
I think so.
I got you.
So you can keep your notes face down if you want.
I got you.
Something because we'll get at the end and see which of us got out.
Now okay,
Yeah.
now I have it. Now I understand.
Nice. Get back in their hint. does mention tracing paper for this puzzle, which is great. Transparencies are even better. I wanted the full experience for it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Gotta work for your puzzle.
Oh, it's a cheaty. It's a cheat one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I've done step 1 of my puzzle.
Nice. It's good to see Michael in the trenches and doing the grunt work of a puzzle.
Yeah,
Instead of just the high level.
taking the claim.
God gifted me with a brain superior to your own, inferior to my brothers, but superior to your own, for a reason.
You said your brother's dealing with the broken leg. That's
Yeah.
that's not good.
And he like wanted me to come do his, come be his chauffeur.
Oh yeah.
And he don't like the excuse that that I've got Buffy, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I'm like TDB because you know your broken legs on you. He fell off on a ladder while working on a house renovation for a property that he's going to be an investment property, right?
Gotcha.
And so his work is not happy because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
risen. He's a GCL, but he's risen where he's now like an exec working out of an office.
Sure.
And they're like, why are you even on a ladder? You pay guys to do that. He's like, I have hobbies.
Right.
But their hobbies are golf, and getting them to sympathize with the fact that that his hobbies are getting up there and working with his hands. They're not very sympathetic to that. Problem is looks like I've got 2 working solutions, and that's not good. I can have 2 potential working solutions. That doesn't look that's not good. So what did I screw up with that 2 potential working solutions?
Alright, so that's
Have people solve their first ones?
Yes.
Damn it.
That part took me a while longer though.
I mean, I see the pattern, I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm. I'll sell you a hint for a nickel. And it might be an actual hint.
Mario, I don't get it. I don't get it. This is
Irreversible transparency, there's so many.
I've literally just got 2 working solutions.
Oh no.
And I ought not to be able to have 2 working, the whole premise is that there should only be 1 working solution.
Yeah.
But I've got 2 working solutions.
I just got to get the numbers. All right, first of all, this casino is very crooked.
Oh, you think?
The fact that I have 3 of the same card guarantees something.
Oh,
Illegal.
casinos use multiple decks.
That is true. That actually is true.
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be bad.
It could be 3-deck blackjack.
Poker, yeah.
Is there something that's in Alright, okay. Let me just see which one I process.
I like your thought process. Yeah, we'll have to compare after.
Wow. So I've narrowed it down to 2 options.
Mhm.
The 2 options are diametrically opposed, which means if I write down both potential solutions,
Yeah.
I've eliminated nothing.
Oh, gotcha.
Because one solution
Has to be one
is
solution.
on this half, the
Yeah.
other solution is on the other half. So if you take both as possibilities, then it's on one half or the other half.
Amazing. Yeah, and I think it should be one solution per puzzle.
I know,
Do
So
you think
yes.
that the cards are here are in order on this? Did your solution match up to where they were in order? Okay.
Yeah, because I had a couple of options and none of them seems to match order.
Yeah, I am not seeing the cards that I think I knew.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Oh, because I did this one wrong. There it is. Alright, so now I'm lowering. There it is. Okay.
Nice.
That solves that. Now I'm down to 2 hands. Yes. So,
2 hands are all you need to communicate.
yes. And then it's-
We didn't
Oh, there
communicate
you go.
enough
It's that
last
easy.
game.
Oh no, they're the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
The two hands.
They know. Yeah, they had a good thought process.
And they're one number away. Oh Jesus.
Yep.
Man,
They're good. Yeah.
all right. So, but by that process of elimination, I can figure out what. What's the heck is?
Are you guys working with puzzles?
Yes.
I guess I'll continue with this one.
There's a 4th puzzle.
I know, but I'm behind you guys, which sucks.
Well, we're still only barely one ahead of you.
Yeah. But this one here, I'm
You're
baffled.
stuck between the two.
Because I've got it where it works, where this can go here or this can go here, and the other one can go here, and like they both fit.
Yeah.
And so, what process of elimination is missing? But
I gotcha.
and I can't figure that out.
Nice. Yeah, I have not figured that out.
That is true. I'm not figuring it out either.
You'll never get it. You know,
Bless you. We'll quote you. For that exact purpose.
One of the biggest, well, not that's it. I use a lot of exaggerated terms. One of the biggest, but so that's not true. But a quandary I have in life is whenever I feel the least bit, good about myself, it's typically about, oh, I was smart enough to figure this out enough to do blah, right?
Yeah.
It's not about my brawn
Right,
or my handyman skills. It's about my, intellectual, right? But every time I have that thought, it's immediately followed by, yeah, but my brother would have glanced at it and immediately known that or known the solution or ruled out blah, or, it's like the fact that I have a younger brother who is one of the freaking 6 to 10 smartest people on the planet. Really sucks for self-esteem. Did you guys read yours out?
No, if you want to read the flavor text on yours, I figured that could be the
thing I did.
Yeah.
Okay. You know from the hushed whispers of your informants that the Hope Rock was moved earlier today, but they failed to tell you which floor the casino was moved to or from. Luckily, you came prepared, and so you quickly donned the repairman disguise that you brought with you. No one bats an eyelid as you open up the elevator's display panel and read the floor history for the day. Wiping the beads of sweat from your forehead, you connect the wires from the panel to your laptop. But your heart sinks as you realize that Chaos's team have scrambled the display. Alrighty.
Oh shoot! I did that.
You did what?
Oh,
This puzzle? You're gonna need to do this puzzle again, you think?
Nope. I just need to rethink my numbers.
yeah. I had to rethink mine because apparently, like, what I messed up on the first one was their example. It's a good example. It's north of Hayes Saloon. Yeah. So it doesn't take into account the one that's on the same level.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was messing up on.
I can't do this stupid.
It's tricky. Want me to give you a hint for how I started for it, or let me know if you're interested in it. And I might take a hint on that one when I get it done. Trade.
Actually, that one's pretty easy.
This one?
Yeah. Once you understand what they've done, it just is a matter of trial and error. Okay. And then you just got to figure out, not make the mistake I just made on identifying which one to do. I just don't do it.
Oh, this is just the once you've got your answer.
Yes.
Next. Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
So
it took me a long time. It took me a long time. I went down the wrong road. Yes. Solve that puzzle first.
Yep.
Well, I guess now that we're sort of trading information, Garrett, I figured this out.
Yes.
So that all is easy.
Yes, and you narrowed it down to 2 then.
And I married them.
Yes.
And then I have a relationship here and here
Yes.
that tends to make sense to me. And I'm assuming the placement.
Rather than you're on track for that. To give you a hint of where I went that started solving it is write down what you know, like start writing down a grid pattern, and fill them in.
Oh. You drew out the whole pattern.
Mm-hmm. This one's not hard, but it is tedious. This one's not even really a puzzle, this one's an exercise.
Does it take the numerical value of this knowledge? So 1 through 12. Possibly.
For 2 if you want more info, but
You don't really just think you want things patronizing you.
yeah, it's 4:30 just about.
Damn, you might not finish this. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be a.
Maybe we might need to just collect all the.
Well, that's true. We
And
could, we
figure out-
could do that.
we can
and
just
if
share
we
the-
wanted to. We could.
I mean, theoretically, we could just share the information that we've gotten.
Yeah.
See if that gets us the right place.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to. Is there one that no one has done?
No.
The one you did.
No, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Well,
And this
that's
one's
what he
done?
did. I've done that one.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will attempt to do this one, but if we run out of time, we will.
Yeah, and I'll attempt to do this one. I think that's a reasonable way to handle it. And then if we want, we could even, like some other time, we could look at each other's puzzles or still solve them later.
The only thing I'm going to ask you about this is is there enough room in this display for a 2-digit number, or are each of these a single?
They're two single numbers.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And I think that you're looking for. I mean,
Well, it's a floor number and a floor number,
Yeah.
and then the difference is
Yeah.
how many floors it's changed up or down. Yeah, but it's. Oh, I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. I had a this time.
All right, just because of time, I'm going to have to see.
One more hint.
That's a number, right? Oh, and it's, this is. Yeah, that's a number.
Okay, they're all visible. This way. They all.
I'm doing a different card that I'm not saying. You're saying it like.
Like, you filled in where you know. Maybe also add question marks or something to the ones that you don't know. Just see more of the pattern.
Oh, because using what's on here.
Yeah.
Oh. I know what you're saying. I did this one. I filled in the ones that I have in my hand that I know.
So to clarify, this is not a 2-digit number like 10.
No.
Okay. The single digit number. Okay.
You got it.
So
Yeah, you got it.
this one. So that's the clue.
Yes. But it took me a long time to see that as well. Because, yeah, a lot of trying to do the process of elimination.
Well, I think it's knowing my brain wants to put the ace on the wrong place.
Okay, yeah.
That's what was
Yeah.
was
I gotcha.
definitely hurting me.
Yeah. Which is nice that we had an example. But yeah. of the king at least. Oh, God.
Oh, well then that makes everything else useless. Okay, so now down to 2 numbers, theoretically.
I don't like this at all. Supposedly they've only screwed with one row and column.
No, it's once you get it, it's. Do you want a little thing? Well, you may have already keyed on it. This and this are the most important things.
Well, this shouldn't be able to be on, this shouldn't be able to be on, but I don't know how to turn both of them off at the same time.
Well, reverse that idea. Maybe it's this one and this one are the outliers. Maybe that one is not an outlier. Look at your source numbers.
Oh, there was a B and a G. I was going off of what I knew.
Yeah. But also look at your source numbers and the placement of where things have to be. These dots right here tell you something has to or has to not be there.
Well, none of them go to the edge. No, the 4 does. The 4 goes to the edge. So this has to be the 4.
Can you confirm that?
Yeah. This has to be the 4 because it's the only one that goes to the edge. Okay. I didn't see that this was on my side.
Can you make your pattern work?
Well, I can make the 8 appear here. So that's the 8. Okay. Thank you for pointing out for this.
Yeah.
This is what does it. I didn't see the pictures on this side. I didn't. Look at my full puzzle. Okay. That's on me. Yeah, they're not doing the forward the way I do. Let's give us a Have you done this one yet, Garrett?
That one, no.
This one's easy if you look at the full puzzle.
Gotcha.
Don't ignore a page like I did. But you're not going to get the real long. What's our time?
4:40.
This is going to give me a shape.
Yep.
It is not enough to make your exit undetected by the casino's cameras. You also need to avoid chaos as ever-present, ever-watchful eye on the casino floor. At any given time, on any given day, chaos can be found parked at the high roller poker table where he never loses, ever. Breaking his winning streak will certainly pry him away from the casino floor, so it's time to put on your poker face. You'll need to play chaos using his famous lucky deck. To stand any chance of beating him, getting him off the floor, you'll need to figure out what hand he's holding, and he's of course got more cards. Okay. What now?
Said I will have to leave soon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't. The markings aren't dark enough. I need to see what's going on anyway.
I'll take a hand on this one.
It just gives you like a number.
Yeah. It spells out a word.
It spells out the word. And then there's that one. Isn't what you marked out or what the negative space is? It's the negative space. Guess it. Yeah, if I had a darker, I could try to do red.
Yeah, that's what I used.
You made his marking code more complicated than it needed to be.
Right. Well, that way others couldn't catch on.
But he made it obvious enough to get the crap beat out of him for having marked cards.
Yep.
It's I don't know how you're cheating, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Bullet to the head.
Yep.
Well, this is chaos. He isn't getting shot. He owns the casino. This is chaos casino.
Yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean that.
Yeah, somebody who loses money might still play something.
Time?
4:48. Okay.
You did not.
This one?
Yeah.
I think I did.
Maybe you did.
At least we got the same one. Or you're tricking me. I'm gonna get caught on my way out.
But you spent less time on it than I spent on it. That's not fair. You suck. Was it at least difficult between two
was.
options at the end?
I did. No, I was going under more of a process of elimination thing and had to recalculate a few times. So yeah, I think I had a couple mixed up that I should not have.
After I did all the processes of elimination, I had two good fits, and then I had to deal with the rim pattern,
Okay, yeah.
and I didn't
Yeah.
catch the rim pattern at first.
I was using the rim pattern at first and then trying to fit them around it and process of elimination after that. So yeah, I think I approached it in a different order.
Gotcha.
Because color first, obviously, and the greens, obviously.
I love how they give me 3 threes of diamonds.
I know, right?
Because that helps me narrow shit down.
Mm-hmm. I've got it narrowed down to 2 exits.
Does it fit within those 3 numbers?
Yes, it does.
Well, then there you go.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
I might look at this briefly.
I'm not 100% sure what this is because I've missed it.
Well, how far have you gotten on your steps?
Well, I had to start over because and then I think I got out of order.
Mine was pretty obvious. I had like maybe 2 pixels were wrong, but it was close enough. And rereading it, it's like, oh, I missed this. Yeah. But it was not.
When not, so if it's when not,
I have 451.
throw it away if it is. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah, you're seeing it.
I'm just not.
Yep.
I don't know where I messed up, but I don't want to take it.
Yeah. No, you're good. This one's tedious as well. I don't think you'll have the. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I think I know the answer.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, since we compared notes, because I have not done this one, but you and Michael both have.
Okay, I'm not going to get this in the time remaining.
And I just started this one, so unless this is extremely easy.
It is extremely easy.
Is it?
Now that you're looking at that side, which I never did until Don pointed that out to
the
me.
reference list.
Yeah. But I will just have to be satisfied that I did not get time to solve this one.
Yeah, I'm going with that's my answer. Where's the solution?
It's in the box.
You're right if I check.
Oh, you have an exit?
I have.
You have all 4?
I have.
We compared ours.
But
I narrowed it down to 2. He narrowed it down to 3. And then
Well, and then I just narrowed it down to 1 or to 2. I mean, off of that.
Oh yeah. That's true. Yeah.
But just because I'm not going to come back to this box, I don't. Oh, interesting, Michael.
Yeah.
I will not do it since it's this.
Oh, punch out.
It's a punch out.
Oh, gotcha. You might be able to repress it in place.
I mean,
Is it like advent calendar? Do you lift up on it?
Yeah. So the thing is
you might be able to.
I could close it, and then you would.
You might have to open and close all of them to make it not stand out, sort of.
Well, but the thing is like, it looks like it's just taken off.
Okay. Yeah.
But I can do this, and then you have to know before you open it up, right?
I've got it narrowed down to 5 numbers.
Yeah.
I've got it narrowed down to these 5 numbers.
And my number is in there.
I've only solved 2 of the 4.
I will not solve it. You can just tell me later if I was right. We'll do it that way because I don't. But Garrett's also going to solve it.
Well, you both solved this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know if you did.
This is not your most riveting
What?
thing. Your
Well, it's by design. It's not as interactive.
That would be very riveting parts.
Okay.
It's a lot of mumbling.
That's all right.
So it may not be. I'm just saying it may be something you decide
Right. Yeah.
not to. See what Garrett gets.
Yeah, don't tell me the exit because I can finish it.
No,
on
but
my
what
own
have
and
we-
figure out the exit.
Here's
yeah,
the question: What have we solved any that we've all solved?
You have not done the roulette.
I did, and I'm not going to do the roulette wheel.
Yeah.
And you guys got the same
we,
answer.
we don't have any overlaps. Yeah, and you honestly had the same answer. And you weren't joking.
Well, I had narrowed down to 5 because I've only done the roulette wheels and and that one.
Yeah.
I've only done 2 of the 4. So I can return to this.
This is just the process of elimination, so it's tedious.
Yeah, it's tedious. It's just following the instructions.
You just have to follow the instructions.
Okay. Well, what you guys can do is you can
just text us what it says behind the screen.
well
Yeah.
after I get a solution, then I'll text you guys what I think the exit number is. Then you can text me what you think the exit number is. And
Yes.
I can figure it out.
I can also
I can
circle
also
the one.
Erase what I put on here.
Well, yeah, and I'll circle the one that Don and I combined our notes, so we have a number.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
And just leave it face down. So
I'll just leave it face down. Yeah. I am so close to this one because I know this one doesn't have to be here. I was guessing at that, so I think it's H to something.
Well,
That one can't be
I will
there.
tell you this: that thing only moves like this all the time.
Yeah.
So if you find
The other
the
one.
exact one that doesn't belong,
Yeah, that one and
That's
that
your
one
key.
don't belong, so that means it has to be there or there. Right? So if it is there.
Alexa, what's the weather forecast?
So that's not great. Oh, of course it's not. It can be there though.
Okay.
It can't be there.
there you go. Which
Can
should,
be there.
which
Can be there. Can be there. Can be there. So it's going to be.
Because I'm going to be going, okay?
Oh man, I might need to call it. I feel like I'm on the right track, but I don't know that. I'm gonna try.
You don't have to fill it in to know what it is. Once he showed me this side, I could immediately determine which one it was before I filled it in.
I'm having trouble
the
with that.
center of your square does not need to be where your X is.
Right. I just know that one doesn't. That
Alright,
one
so
can't
then-
exist. So
so
I think
then-
it has to be one on this row.
So
Right,
what is
but
the
then-
only one that has that?
Well, there is that way of doing it.
That's true.
But what I was going to say is, if you know this to be true,
Yeah.
you know this line is opposite of what it is.
That's
Correct?
true. Yeah, that's true.
So you
Yeah.
could X and circle across,
Yeah.
and then you just have to find your vertical line, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, I did the thing of filling it in just
And
to
then-
prove it.
Yeah.
But once I knew
got
that,
to the 4.
once I knew the
Gotcha.
dot that had
Yeah,
it
that's
exist,
the easy.
then it was like there's only
That's
one
the
pattern
easy
that
way,
makes
but
that dot.
also
So
once
it's
you
8 to 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
once
cool.
you know there's a
Yeah, the entire line.
the
You're
entire
right.
line is
You're right.
opposite,
Yeah.
even if it's not the center of your plus.
And I could have gotten there with elimination. But
You
that's
can know
the
this
logical
way
to
or
do it.
that way.
Yeah.
So
Same thing with this
down-
one. You know that.
So down 4 floors. I'm just going to look at the
Yeah.
ending and say down 4 floors east of cashier.
Because literally, this is the only one that has
Right,
a dot there.
right, and they made a mistake of
Yeah.
putting that one out there because none of them have anything in that row.
Exactly. So once you know, okay, it can't be
It can't be that.
that dot can't exist.
This
that
one has to exist.
Yeah. So
Then
therefore, it
yes.
has to be that.
Yes.
I like it.
If I had looked at this side
Yeah.
ever, I would have
Yeah.
gotten that so much quicker.
Yeah. To see
And
which
that's how I
ones-
figured it out. But figuring out to make the pattern,
Yeah.
I did what I was telling Garrett, which is
Yeah, because
I knew something to be true,
the 8
so
was
I saw
intuitive.
that.
The
that
8
row.
was intuitive immediately. Like the 8 I had
Yes.
immediately. But then
It was pretty.
But the 4 wasn't getting because I wasn't looking at the other side to see how they were doing their 4 all funky. And I was doing 4
See,
the way
I
I
made the
normally
mis-
do 4, which doesn't
Yes.
fit any of that.
I made the mistake of thinking that the first thing, that the list of words was a pattern that you were trying to figure out. And so I was like, oh, you start at floor 4 and you go
Yeah.
down 1. And I thought that it would do, I thought that what we were doing, because I hadn't seen anything else to know that's how it was, I thought we were following the pattern of the elevator going up 1 floor, down 3 floors,
Right.
up 2 floors, and that at the end of a
You thought they were like
chain,
indicator lights. Or
you would get,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, instead of just scrambling. Yeah, it took me rereading multiple times to figure out what they were talking about, like turning a dot on and off. The casino, the wheel one, is definitely the easiest but most tedious. But it's literally just following the direction.
Right. Yes.
The
slots. The
the
slots.
The slots.
The roulette. I would agree that the
that
roulette
was
is
time consuming.
tedious. Like it's almost as tedious as that.
It's
But
finding
more-
relationships of spaces opposite of each other.
Well, also you have to go through all.
Well,
the
you guys have,
numbers
I'm
to
not
find
going to
the
try. I'm not going to
eliminations.
solve it.
Yeah.
You guys have both solved it.
It's figuring out the pattern because you have a broken wheel.
Yeah.
And you know they give you 1 5, so you know one number is a red 5, so
Yeah.
one's locked in. 2 greens
Are
You're-
opposite
They're,
each
they're
other.
opposite sides, and one is a 0, one is a double 0.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out which one. But then by looking
But
at
then you have to look at
the
like sometimes some
color.
of them will have
Is it a real wheel or is it not a real wheel?
no
Because I know where they are in a real wheel.
no this is
I don't
this
think
is
so.
this is
I would
a
doubt it.
this is a rigged wheel, so the numbers aren't where they're supposed to be on like in the real world.
Yeah.
So the thing is like you'll see like, oh well, this one has a black 6, but then you look on the thing and it's
this
like,
one
oh,
already
the
has a
6
black
has,
6.
this one already has a black 6. You can't have 2 black 6s. Or you look at the thing and it says, oh well, 6 is supposed to be red, not black.
Right.
So okay, so it can't be this. So it's a lot of you have to go back and forth and do a lot of process of elimination with all 36 numbers.
Sure.
Because they're all double-sided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
I'm
You're
going-
gaming right now.
I'm playing with my cousins.
Oh, okay.
My little cousins are playing.
But after
I was
I
just
get
gonna
back
say,
from
if you guys
gaming,
were
I
at
will.
home,
I'll
my friend
finish it.
John is playing over at Homegrown
Oh,
in
cool.
Donaldson. So we're going to go watch him play
Oh, nice.
music tonight.
What does he play?
He's a country guy. He's a
Guitar?
well, he sings. He's like writes
Nice.
songs and stuff. It's really old school country, but
Okay,
Yeah.
leave this
Yeah,
stuff
we'll
just
leave
like
that-
this.
Yep.
I'm gonna
My circle
finish it.
dancer is under here.
I will finish it up when I get back.
yeah.
But I have to like leave right now because I'm gonna hold up, guys. 'Cause
Okay.
Back on 5:30 and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
because
was
it's
fun.
5, not 4. Because that clock is wrong.
Yes. It's
Oh yeah.
it's 5.
I was looking at the stove clock.
Yeah, I never reset that one after
All right.
Well, thanks for hosting.
Yeah, thanks
yeah.
for-
This was interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe puzzles or tasks. Like they weren't all puzzles. Some of them were
All
just
right.
tasks.
Well, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thank
I'll
you.
let you know how it all turns out.
Thanks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a heavy bag.
It's probably soup. I was running out of soup.
Suits. Suits. You got a suit for your retirement?
No, soup. You know, I eat soup for lunch. See you guys.
See you, Michael.
Okay, so I am back to try to complete these puzzles to figure out things. So the ones I already did, but this is the one I think I'm on. The roulette table, just to be clear, is all about, by process of elimination, determining the correct alignment of the outside of the roulette table, which then showed us that the ball was landing on 25 red. And then the card in here said, well, if it's 25 red, then we know we need to, our exit is north of slots. Meanwhile, the elevator, we did two dot inversions that inverted the entire intersecting column and row, and that gave us, we were going from 4 to 4-8, which was 4, or from 4-8 to 4, which was 4 down, which told us east of cashier and ATM. So far, what we know is where we need to be north. Our exit is north of the slots here, and east of the cashier ATMs. So it has to be one of these 5 numbers here, because 3 is south of the slot, not north of the slot machines, right? These are definitely south of the slot machines. And all of this is not, east of the cashier and ATM. So we're looking at there. Now we've got, so that was this puzzle and this puzzle done. So now we've got 2 more. So one I was working on, which I'll go back to working on, are these marked cards. And they gave us some example cards, and we got to figure out the marking pattern so that we can see what Chaos's hand is, so that we can beat him at poker, so that he will freak out, right? And that will make him leave the floor, right? So we've got that. The straight mark on the 1-1 intersection is the king of diamonds. We've got that the horizontal mark on the 1-4 intersection is or the 4 across 1, 1 down intersection is the 10 of hearts. We've got that, we've got 3 examples of 3 of diamonds, and they're all marked in the same way, which is a vertical in the 3 down, 3 across, right? It's 3 of diamonds, and we've got 3 of those. So I'm going to do a times number here in case that matters. So we've got this is a time, that's not writing. We've got this is a times 3, we've got a times, we've only got one example of that, and one example of this, in case that matters.
Now, the 9 is marked slash this way, and it's 1 across, 2 down, right? And that's the 9 of clubs. We've got one example of that. So I don't think the number of cards makes a difference because this is 1, 2. So if 1 across was the thing, we would have 4 tens. Like if the across wasn't the number of examples, then we would have, that worked for 3 of diamonds and 1 of each of the others. That doesn't work for the 4 tens because we only have 1 10. And it can't be the down, which would indicate 1 10 for 1 down, and 3 down, that works, but then 4 down for 4 hearts doesn't work. So we know that the count of cards isn't, the number of instances of it doesn't really factor into the marking. But the ace of hearts is a horizontal of 1 across, 4 down, right? And I'll just say those ones, but I don't really think that matters. So now we need to figure out. So what is the pattern here? So in order to really mark the cards, what chaos needs to be able to do is probably from like in a revealed corner. He's not guaranteed that the entire breadth of the card is going to be, so he needs somewhere in this revealed corner of a fan spread to see the marking. So it might make sense that the pattern doesn't go all the way down or go all the way across. We don't know that for sure, but that's a possibility. It might be a pattern that is limited to just this 4 by 4 area, maybe. Okay. Who knows? Because he's got the 10, which is the 4 across, so he's at least, okay, I can fan out that far. And he's got the 3 down, and we can definitely see 4 down. So let's assume, like, if we assume that his visible grid pattern is a 4 by 4, that would give him 16. The cards run ace through 10, which is 10 cards because the ace, like the 1, and then you have the jack, queen, king, which is an 11, 12, 13. Okay. But then you need suits. Now he's got an example of, he does not have an example of the spade. We don't know what a spade looks like in the system. But what we can gather maybe is that this is probably an option, right? But so it looks like vertical. So vertical equals diamond, maybe, because because all his diamonds are vertical. The threes are diamonds, and they're all got the vertical mark. The king is a diamond, and it's a vertical mark, right? It could be that the hearts are the horizontal marks because both instances of hearts are horizontal, right? So we could say, horizontal, a vertical mark is a diamond, a horizontal mark is a heart. And then we have this club, and the club is a slash this way. And then, so we can imagine that a slash that way might very well just be spade, even though we don't have an example of spade. So let's say that hash type is the suit. That's great. So now we got to figure out, let's go with that for now. So now we got to figure out what's the grid pattern, right? So, ace is 1 across, 4 down. So if you did And we could put the ace over here, right? And say that that's, ace is greater than king. So if that was true, then it might be that, oh, okay, one across. Well, here, one across, one down. So here we've got king in this corner here. We've got ace in this corner here. We've got and then we've got, a 3 over here, right? So we've got to, and a 10 over here. And a 9, well, where's the 9 in relation to the 10? So the 9 is here and the 10 is there. Okay. So that's 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. That works. Oh, okay. See, okay, yeah. So let's do our 4x4 grid and we might have this solved. So we're saying in a 4x4 grid, we've got all the things. So if a king is here, theoretically it could be a queen here, jack here, a 10 here, because that matches the fact that we've got a 10 there. Sure. And then our 9 is here, which makes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And our 3 is 3 across, 3 down, just like we expect it to be. And this is our ace. And the ace is here. Now that's interesting. So what it could be is that it could be that that's just the pattern and that's the fan spread that he's allowing for. Because everything else works out. So the ones that we've actually got examples of, right? So the king is definitely here. The 10 is definitely here, right? Yes. The ace is definitely here. The 3 is definitely 3 over 3 down. And the 9 is definitely here. So then the question is, what are all the others from that? This is a pattern that works. And what that allows is that this can be covered over and you won't need to spread to see it. But you would still need to see this. But I think this might be reasonable. Because there's no other way to really get from an ace here to a king here. Because there's no 2 cards between an ace and a king, right? There's definitely 2 cards between a 10 and a king. There's a jack queen like that, right? So I think this might be the pattern. So if that's the pattern, then what is his hand? So his hand, if that's the case, we're looking at this. He's got a this slash, so it's a club, so it's a queen of clubs. So he's got 5 cards in his hand, so he's got a queen of clubs, okay, then it's a slash going this way, which we said would be the spade. So we know a slash going this way is something because it's on here, even though it's not on here. And we've intuited that that's got to be the missing suit that we don't have an example for. And it is in the 5 position. So this is saying that we have a 5 of, I don't know how to draw it, but spade, right? 5 of spade, according to our rubric here. I'm hoping that that is correct. And then we've got a diamond. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know that's an ace. So he's got an ace of diamond. And then over here, it's this way again, so that's another spade. And it is in our 7. So this is a 7 spade, 7 spade. And then he's got a horizontal, which we know is a heart, and it's in that corner, which we know to be a king. So this is a hearts. Okay, so if we did it correctly, there should be an example. Okay, here we go. We've got this one here where queen of spade, or queen of clubs, 5 of spades, ace of diamonds, 7 of spades, king of hearts. So that matches that hand. And I think we're really good because even if we are not unsure of the other positions, we know this has to be a king of hearts. So we have to have a king of hearts. We know this is the ace position. So we have to have an ace of diamond because that was like, not up for question. The 7, the 5, and the queen, we are extrapolating from this, assumptive pattern here. But so let's see if the ace of diamonds, this has an ace of diamonds, this has an ace of diamonds, ace of diamonds, ace of diamonds. Okay, so this one, we have 4 with ace of diamonds, so it has to be one of these 4. Then we have to have a king of hearts, so it's either this one or this one. Now, why can't it be this one? Why does it have to be this one versus this one? Well, in order for it to be this one, we've got 2 spades, right? So we have to have 2 spades, and we have to have a club. But, which we have, that's fine. But in order for this to be the jack of clubs, what we're saying is that, what that would be saying is that you've got king, that would be saying that this is a jack, and that would be saying that the 8 and the 6 are transposed with the 5 and the 7, so this would have to be an 8 or 6, and that would have to be an 8 or 6. Right? Because we've got this position as a spade. Yeah. We've got that position as a spade. And it just doesn't really make sense for this to go 9, skip something 8, 6, right? 8 or 6. And for this to be like 9. Now this could be, in theory, this could be 8, but then that doesn't make sense why this would be an ace. I mean, this doesn't really make sense being an ace and then a number 5. Unless, what's the difference between a 13 and a 9? That's a 4. You see, then it would be diff of 4, diff of 3, diff of 2. I mean, I can maybe see that, but then this would have to be a diff of 2, and then you have a jack and a 10 and a diff of 0, and this doesn't leave anything for that to be, right? So that just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to say that it really has to be, I believe, this one here. So that means west of the blackjack tables, because what we're saying is that the answer to this one is, I'm going to call it poker hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Poker hand 6, which leads us to west of blackjack. West of blackjack tables. Okay, so assuming we did that one correctly, what are we down to? So it has to be north of here, east of here, west of the blackjack tables. So now it's a 9 or 11. It's one of those two. And that seems reasonable. What would have been the other thing? This was the other possible one. North of cashier and ATMs. That doesn't tell us anything because we already know it's north of the slot machine. So that's another reason not to believe this one, because it doesn't narrow down the information at all. Right? It literally doesn't. So it really has to be this one, because that's a useless clue. And that's a bit of metagaming, but you got to do some metagaming in these games. Because what it is it's going to be, the next clue should tell us, you know, we were told east of here, west of here, north of here. So we should be told like a south of something or whatever. We should be told something else so that it picks out one of these two, right? It has to narrow, each clue has to narrow down the field. Okay. So these go with this, go back into here. We've done that one. Fun little puzzles, honestly. Professor Puzzle did a good job. Fun little puzzle. Fun little puzzles. Enjoying the puzzles. Ah. Okay. So now we're done with that one. So we only have, that's for we only have this one left. Okay. The other guy said that this one was easy, just tedious, and that's fine. We can do it tedious. We're not on the clock at the moment, so okay. Okay. You've been listening in on the casino waitress's chit-chat, trying to gain some intel, and it seems you picked the jackpot. You've overheard one mention to the other that a clue as to the location of the casino's blind spot can be found in a cleverly modified slot machine in Chaos's back office. Sneaking in won't be a problem, but trying to crack the code and uncover the clue looks like you're going to need more than a little Vegas luck to figure that one out. So we solved this puzzle by using a piece of tracing paper over the top of the slot display to eliminate the unnecessary icons. That's fine. We get ourselves some tracing paper, and we'll be doing that. Okay. So, this is a string of 5 diamonds. That's okay. These icons are adjacent to the cherries. Okay, so it's full adjacency. Full adjacency rules. Start by crossing out the icons, end by blacking out the icons. Okay. Keep all the cherries. We keep all cherries. All right. So I put borders around the cherries just to show that you want to keep those according to this. Eliminate the apples. Okay, so eliminate apples. We've eliminated the apples. Okay. Now we are told to do what? Keep watermelon only when they're adjacent to a coin and an apple. Okay. So you look at each watermelon and keep it only when it's adjacent to a coin and an apple. Okay, so we've got watermelon. Okay. This one is adjacent to an apple, not adjacent to a coin, so it goes. This one is adjacent to an apple, but no, it is adjacent to a coin because remember, adjacency counts diagonally, and it's diagonally adjacent to that coin. This one is adjacent to a coin, but not to an apple. This one's adjacent to a coin, but not to an apple. This one's adjacent to a coin and an apple. This one's adjacent to an apple, but not to a coin. This one's adjacent to both a coin and an apple. Keep grapes only if they are adjacent to a bell. Okay, not adjacent to a bell. 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 This one's adjacent to a bell. This one's adjacent to a bell, and this one is not adjacent to a bell. Okay. Keep a bar only when it is adjacent to 3 of any one icon. Okay. So this bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. This bar is adjacent to 3 horseshoes, so it stays. This bar is adjacent to 3 of a kind because it's adjacent to 3 other bars. This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. This bar is adjacent to 3 sevens. This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind. Okay. Eliminate a bell only if it is not adjacent to an app. So we eliminate the bell if it is not adjacent to an app. So bells not adjacent to an active. Not adjacent to an active. Not adjacent to an active. Just a second back. This one stays because it's adjacent to that apple. Okay, so we only keep them basically like that. All right, eliminate a 4-leaf clover only if it is adjacent to 3 of any one icon. So if it is adjacent to eliminate 4-leaf clovers if they are adjacent to 3 of a kind. Okay, so this one is adjacent to 3 sevens, so it gets eliminated. This one is adjacent to 3 sevens, so it also gets eliminated. This one is adjacent to 3 hearts, so it gets eliminated. This one is not adjacent to 3 of a kind, so it stays. This one is not adjacent to 3 of a kind, so it stays. This one is adjacent to 3 melons, so it goes. This one is adjacent to 3 sevens, so it goes. It goes to 7. This one's adjacent to 3 diamonds, so it goes. Okay. This grape, keep only if they're adjacent to a bell. This grape is not adjacent to a bell, I just missed it. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Okay. Eliminate the coins. Okay. So all coins. Okay. Then it says Keep a horseshoe only when it is adjacent to a heart. So this one stays. This one stays. This one is not adjacent to a heart. It moves. This one is not adjacent to a heart, so it goes. This one is adjacent to a heart right here, so it stays. This one is not adjacent to a heart, so it goes. This one is adjacent to a heart right here, so it stays. Okay. Keep a heart only when it is not adjacent to a horseshoe. Okay, so all of these hearts get eliminated because they are all adjacent to a horseshoe. This one is adjacent to a horseshoe, so it goes. This one is not adjacent to a horseshoe, so it stays. This one is not adjacent to a horseshoe, so it stays. This one is adjacent to a horseshoe, so it goes. And this one is adjacent to a horseshoe, so it goes. Okay. Eliminate all diamonds unless they are adjacent to a heart. This is adjacent to a heart, it stays. This is not adjacent to a heart, it goes. Adjacent to a heart, both of those stay. These three are not adjacent to a heart, so they will all go. Okay. Only keep the 7 icons when they are in a string that adds up to 28. Okay. A string that adds up to 28. Well, 28, 2 times 7 is 14, 4 times 7 is 28. So it's basically a string of 4 sevens. So this, they stay because that's a string of 4 sevens. This is a string of 4 sevens, so they stay. These sevens do not make a string of 28. They go. This is 4 sevens, so they stay. These 3 sevens, however, are going to go. So the only sevens remaining are strings of 4. Okay. Only keep lemons and oranges if their numbers equal each other in a string. Okay, so what it's saying there is we keep this because this is a string and there's 2 of each. Over here we have this string, but there's 2 lemons and 3 oranges, so the numbers aren't equal. So that entire string gets eliminated. Over here we have a string of 4, but it's 2 and 2, so they stay. This is a string of 1, so it's gonna go. This is a string of 1, so it's gonna go. This is a string of 3, but it's odd, so it's gonna go. Okay. So then, we've done all of that. Okay. Find the location of the correct exit. Follow the directional clue that matches with your chosen direction. Well, we've not sure what it means by that. Honestly. So we're looking for a 1 through 9. So I'm going to remove the boxes because I think they're distracting me. We keep all the cherries, we know that. So we just won't have to cross them out. That's good enough. Okay. So then, what is this supposed to tell us? What does this tell us? If this is a pattern, it's supposed to spell out a number or show a number. It looks vaguely like a 3. I don't know. This is kind of I colored it all right. We've got see it? It spells something here, maybe like a 5. Well, this would be an E if this is X'd out. So let's see if we were supposed to have X'd out that bar. So what was the rule on bars? Keep a bar only when it's adjacent to 3 of 1 icon. See, we made a mistake. See this bar? This bar is not adjacent to 3 of a kind, so it should have been X'd out. So then once we X that out, we end up with, it spells 5, right? It's kind of what it spells. F-I, that I think is supposed to be a V, and then an E. 5, right, is what it spells out. So answer 5. So south of Sport, so we're going to say answer 5. You see how we got that? So we're going to say answer 5. And it's helpful that these are using words rather than numbers, so we kind of know that we're looking for a word that spells the number. Answer 5. This is south of sports betting area. Okay, and then, so, if it is north of the slot machines, and it is east of the cashier and ATMs, and it is west of the blackjack tables, so it's down to here, and now it is south of the sports betting area, then it must be, by process of elimination, exit 11. This is our official guess. We will look at what the other guys came up with for their official guess. They came up with 11 also. So we all came up with the same thing. So we are either all correct or all wrong. We are going to find out now. And it says, you escaped. It seems that sometimes crime does pay after all. You managed to quietly slip out of the casino without detection. By the time you read about the theft in the paper, you're already sipping a cocktail, admiring an island sunset. So they compared their information and narrowed it down. They didn't, Garrett and Don didn't each complete all 4 of the puzzles because they just ran out of time. But that's fine because between the 2 of them, they completed all 4 of them. So they compared their information and got it down to exit 11. They did not share that information with me. I had to go and, I'm trying to put this back so that this can be played by someone else. I had to go and solve all 4 of them. But I did, and I corroborated that, that their guess, and we were all guessed correctly. We're all winners. I will text the guys and let them know all of that. They could also just watch it, right? They want to see how it, make sure that I actually legitimately got there, right? In the end, but I did. But yeah, that was this little game called from Professor Puzzle Games called Escape from the Casino of Chaos. And we spent more than 45 minutes. We always do, just because we're very meticulous. We don't try to rush. We just, take our time. And I got stuck on the roulette wheel for a while longer than I should have, because I just wasn't noticing the alternating diamond pattern in the rim of the roulette wheel. And that was a key point. You had to do process of elimination to figure out which sides of the pieces to use, and then you had to figure out where they would fit. But then there was a couple possible configurations, but you had to then realize that the diamonds alternated between vertical and horizontal diamond, and that told you which of the possible combinations were correct on the roulette wheel. And it took me a while to glean that. But that's what you want in a puzzle game, is you want some puzzles to like stump you for a while and be challenging. And that filled that. This was a good little puzzle game. Alrighty, I'm gonna put all this stuff back. This will be, so we're gonna, the solution can go at the very bottom. This can go in here. This is all of this. And it doesn't matter that the pieces are loose in one envelope, and the next player will punch those out. That won't spoil any of this at all. And that is that, Escape from the Casino of Chaos. We succeeded. We did. We escaped. All right. Good job. I have to do a lot of erasing here. I'm going to get my special eraser for that. Let's do that now before we forget. Okay, this is fine. We erase this. And those are fine. So these are the basic things. This is good. This is good. All right. And we didn't do the shield at all. I was using the shield because it was originally telling us that each person should solve all 4 puzzles on their own and not really share their information. So we're going to use the shield from a different game, Captain Sonar, to separate our views from each other. But it really wasn't necessary because as long as we were heads down and being honest about it, and on our honor, which we were, then, it was fine. The puzzles were small enough that it wasn't really, entirely clear just by looking across the table what someone was doing to solve it. And that's, so that was fine. We didn't need the shields. If you are doing these types of games and you are invest in some of these, whiteboards, the transparencies, the smaller, these tools really really do you. They really do the job for you. And they're not super expensive, honestly. And it's better than using up reams and reams of paper. Like we got out these pencils, but we didn't really need them, because we had our markers. So, but yeah, yeah. I mean, dry erase is awesome for these kinds of games. You just take copious notes and use the transparencies and stuff. You see how we use them. You see how we use them. It's all good. Okay. And all right. I will bid you adieu because I'm done with that.